Hello and welcome. You tune in to Market Fatafat with me, Ankita Saxena, and this is the show where we get you all the buzzes in trade while they're buzzing on the back of news flow or on the back of technicals. But one stock that is in focus today is M&M Auto. M&M Auto that is in focus on the back of the fact that they have come out with this strong set of auto sales numbers. This has been buoyed by the sentiments of the festive season sentiments and the GST rate rationalization that has come through. In fact, it has boosted the Scorpio N, XUV 700, XUV 3XO and Bolero that are driving strong demand for M&M Auto. And now to weigh in on the numbers, I'm joined by Nalin Kant Golakunta, who's the CEO of Automotive Division Mahindra & Mahindra, who's joining us. Hi, sir. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us today. First question, sir. Great numbers in September. Help us understand which models and regions are seeing the most excitement.
The demand has been quite good, broad-based across the board. So if you think about it, our Scorpio N is doing extremely well. 700 has seen renewed interest, and 3XO, which obviously had a huge cut because of the GST benefits being passed on. So we've had significant demand coming there as well. And the rural Bolero is doing quite well. So I would say it's quite broad-based. The interesting trend is folks are trading up. It's not necessarily that they're trying to save that money, but folks are trading up in terms of models, but they're also trading up in terms of variants. If they came in looking at a mid-variant, now they're using the same budget to get a higher variant as well. So I think overall that's good for the industry.
Right, Mr. Golakunta, people wait to take deliveries on the Dussehra. Any number you can share with us? How many deliveries are you planning to do this year?
Yeah, so hard to predict how Dussehra works out. In some of the urban markets, it's a holiday as well, and it's closer to being a longer weekend. But what we have so far in the first 9 days of Navratra, and these are dealer-reported customer retail numbers. On the SUV side, if you look at it, first 9 days compared to the first 9 days of Navratra last year, so I'm doing the apples-to-apples comparison, we see a 60% growth in retails. And on the commercial side, we see 70% of growth in the first 9 days of this Navratra compared to first 9 days of Navratra last year as well. Now, some of it, of course, is pent-up demand, because as you know that with the GST changes coming in, quite a bit of retails had held back before 22nd September. But there's certainly a significant amount of interest which has come in because of the GST 2.0 cuts as well.
How is the waiting time for some of your high-selling models like a Bolero or a Thar? How are you managing your supply chain there?
No, I think thanks to a lot of the expansion that we have done and our suppliers have done over the last 12 to 18 months, anybody can walk in and get a vehicle before the end of the festive now across the board, whether it's 700 or Scorpio N. And that's certainly what the customers are experiencing as well. So yes, you're right. They are in high demand models, but with the production increases we have had over the last 12 to 18 months, you can actually walk in and get a vehicle before the end of the festive.
Also, give us some color on the outlook for the month of October. Any new launches on the anvil?
Yeah, so we're not putting a projection at this point in time for October. We're obviously cautiously optimistic at this point in time. And as you know, with the surge in demand, as an industry, we've been grappling with trailer shortages. So trying to get as many vehicles to the dealerships as we can as an industry. So that's something we are all working through at this point in time. So hard to predict how October will play out. But we certainly have a big event lined up for November. It's our first anniversary of our BEVs. And we are putting out a new event as well for that.
All right, Mr. Golakunta, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us today. We'll let you go on that note and wishing you a very happy Dussehra. Let's get started with all the stocks that are buzzing in trade now. We are joined by Nagaraj Shetti on the technicals and Derivative Research Analyst. HDFC Securities is joining us on the technicals, and we will be joined by a researcher as well. But let's get started with all the stocks that are in focus today. And let me start with Shriram Finance, which is a top nifty gainer as of now. Now remember, we did have the RBI MPC meet outcome today, and a whole host of bank lending proposals were proposed, and on the back of that, the entire banking and the financial pack is in focus. But besides that, we also have Shriram Finance, a note come out by Morgan Stanley that is maintaining an overweight call with a buying price of 785 rupees on the counter. They feel that the company has clarified categorically they have denied any knowledge about the stake sale. Also, they feel that the quarter 1 FY26 asset quality that is better than what they were penciling in, and also as far as the macro sentiment is concerned, that is still a drag, but the model higher stage 3 slippages, write-off stage 2 and coverage will look positive, and the EPS forecast of 5 to 6% is below consensus for FY26-28, and they expect a 15% EPS going ahead. CAGR for FY27 and 27 estimates. They are also maintaining an overweight call on Shriram Finance, and on the back of that call, Shriram Finance right now is trading with gains of almost 5% in the trading session today. Let's move on then. Nagaraj, you have also picked out Shriram Finance on the technicals. Do you see a clear breakout coming in, and what are the levels to watch out for?
Hi, Ankita. Good afternoon. Yes, rightly said. Shriram Finance seems to have found a bottom around 630, 640 levels, and it has bounced back. 580, 590 levels, and bounced back very well in the last few, 1 month. And the overall chart pattern is indicating a formation of inverted head and shoulder pattern, and the neckline comes around 635, 640 levels. It has broken just above it and currently trading higher. The overall chart pattern is looking positive. I'm expecting further upside from here onwards. The next upside resistance to be watched is around 700 in the next 1 month.
All right. Moving on from Shriram Finance on the technicals to Acme Solar Holdings that you picked out for us. Ravinder, tell us what is the news flow here? Why is Acme in focus?
Well, yes, Acme Solar Holding is in focus on the back of their brokerage note, where Motilal Oswal has come out with the note, and they have maintained the buy rating and hike target price to rupees 370 as compared to earlier target price rupees 347. They say that with slower power demand, PPA tie-up and momentum and execution ability will be in focus for the company, and the pickup in power demand and government push to resolve a PPA deadlock, and projecting installed capacity at 5.5 gigawatt in for FY 2028 estimate, and pipeline for approximately 6.7 gigawatt under the execution planning. And they say that the company has a EBITDA potential of approximately 8,100 crore annualized post full commissioning, and FY 28 estimate cut by 1% due to cancellation of the 300 megawatt solar project. So back of the positive note from the Motilal Oswal, Acme Solar Holding is in focus, and the stock is up approx 4%.
All right, moving on from Acme to ONGC on the technicals. Nagaraj, ONGC has been in a very tight range for the last 1 month, in fact. Why have you picked out ONGC for us? What are the levels to watch out for?
Yeah, ONGC has been in a larger consolidation phase over the last few months, and current chart pattern is indicating there is a possibility of upside breakout of this stock towards 200-day EMA and could move higher. I think the volume breakout as well as the indication of RSI is signaling that the stock is likely to break above the hurdle of 200-day EMA very soon. So the next overhead resistance, once it breaks above the 200-day EMA, will be around 255.
All right, a breakout on the charts for ONGC, but with that, it's time for a quick breather. After the break, we'll get you more buzzers. After the break, stay tuned with us. News flow or on the back of technicals. One such counter that is in focus today that was trading upwards of 2.5% was Tata Motors. Now remember, for the demerger of the commercial vehicle and the passenger vehicle has come into effect from today. In fact, according to the plan, Tata Motors Limited will split its commercial vehicle business, including all its assets, liabilities, employees, and its related investments into Tata Motors Limited commercial vehicle. Meanwhile, the passenger vehicle business in the Tata Motors passenger vehicle will merge back into the existing listed company, which is Tata Motors Limited. Also, the effective date is with the demerger will officially come into effect, which means that the business asset, liabilities, and employees are separated and function as independent businesses. And they've also set October 14 as a record date to issue shares for the demerged commercial vehicle company. On the back of this, Tata Motors is soaring away in trade as of now, trading with gains of 4.7% in the trading session today. So big gains coming in on Tata Motors. But Nagaraj, let me come to you for Aegis Logistics. That's the name that you picked out for us on the charts. Take us through what are the levels that we need to watch out for on Aegis.
Yeah, Aegis Logistics, after the consolidation of last 7-8 session, it has bounced back and break out very well from the lower levels, taken the support of 200-day EMA. So chartically, this is a uptrend continuation pattern, and the whole setup is indicating more upside for the stock price in the near term. Currently trading around 795 odd levels, 845, 850 is going to be the next hurdle to be watched in the next few weeks.
All right, so that's Aegis Logistics on the charts. Ravinder, you picked out Info Edge for us. Tell us on Info Edge, what's the news flow?
Well, yes, Info Edge India is in focus, where company has released a jobs peak index for the September 2025, and companies say that the strong 10% year-on-year growth, which is driven by the key non-IT sectors like insurance and real estate sector, and insurance sector reported a 28% growth which year-on-year basis, which was majorly driven by a significant more than 36% uptick in fresher hiring in the sector, and real estate sector also witnessed a good hiring of 26% year-on-year growth, which was mainly driven by hiring surge in metro cities like Chennai with 41% and Bangalore with 34%. And if we talk about the hiring trend by experience level, then 15% growth in fresher hiring and 13% growth in hiring for the more than 16 years plus experienced candidate. And Chennai emerged as a unicorn hiring hub, witnessing a significant more than 72% year-on-year growth in the hiring, and emerging cities like Kochi with 22% and Jaipur were the front in the fresher hiring trend in September 2025. So back of this, Info Edge is in focus and the stock is up 4%.
All right, moving on from Info Edge, that is also buzzing in trade. Lupin is another counter that's up and away more than 3.5% in trade. Now, on the fundamental side, it has received a USFDA approval for one of its generic drugs. But Nagaraj, on the charts, what are we penciling in for Lupin?
Yeah, Lupin has been in a larger consolidation movement band over the last 6-7 months, and what we can observe is the 1900 has acted as a strong support recently and led to the stronger bounce back in the stock. Currently showing up move from the lower levels, that means there is a possibility of this stock is moving towards the next hurdle of the upper end of the consolidation, somewhere around 2050, 2060, which is the next set of hurdle for the stock price in the at least 1 or 2 weeks.
All right, moving on then, the next counter which is in focus is Sun Pharma. Citi has come out with a note on Sun Pharma. They're maintaining a buy call with a target price of 2,180 rupees. They feel that the global pharma rally in the sector is up almost 3 to 5% after Pfizer's deal with the US government. And Pfizer is likely to cut prices for the existing drugs in the Medicaid, and they're likely to launch new drugs at price parity with other developed countries. And there's going to be no impact on Medicare and commercial pricing. Now, the implication for Sun Pharma is that the Illumia, which is specialty drug pricing overhang, is removed, and the key geopolitical risks of tariff are substantially abated as a result of this. So they're maintaining Sun Pharma as a preferred pick. And on the back of this bullish note coming in by Citi and Sun Pharma is trading with gains of 2.5% in the trading session today. Another counter, Biocon from the pharma pack is in focus. Ravinder, take us through why is Biocon in focus?
Well, yes, Biocon is in focus, where Biocon Biologics has secured a US market entry for Bosaya and Aculso, and these products are used in the treatment for osteoporosis and cancer-related bone condition. And Biocon Biologics and Amgen executed the settlement agreement to resolve the pending patent litigation at the United States Court of New Jersey, and the agreement enabled Biocon Biologics to launch this product in the US from the 1st of October 2025. So back of this, Biocon is in focus and the stock is up more than 1%.
All right, another counter which is doing very well for itself today is Uno Minda. Tell us, Nagaraj, why have you picked out Uno Minda for us? This counter has already run up 50% in the last 6 months. So what a stellar run up that Uno Minda has seen, and especially with this GST rate rationalization for all the auto companies, auto ancillaries, it's a big positive. But on the charts, what is the upside?
Yeah, the stock has been a strong uptrend over the last 1 year. We can say that we have seen smaller consolidation, smaller decline, and larger upmost over the past 1 year. Currently showing a consolidation band, and the stock has slipped into decline slightly in the last week and bounced back strongly from the lower levels. That indicates the strength in the uptrend in the stock over the near term. I'm expecting more upside after breakout of the current consolidation above 1330 levels and 1450 is going to be the next hurdle to be watched in the next at least 3 to 4 weeks.
All right. That's the last talk of the day. Nagaraj and Rabinder, thank you so much for taking the time out and taking us through all the buzzes in trade. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Market Fatafat. I will take your leave. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. Market action continues on ET Now.